Hello, thank you for joining me at Lizard Home today in this book, Watercolour with Me in the Forest. I did do a page through of the book a while ago, probably about a year ago now. I painted the little chickadee, and then, as I've done with most of the things that I've done in this book, I then try to draw the little creature again in my watercolor sketchbook and paint it again to give myself some more practice. So I'll put a link to the page through of the book. It is a lovely book, and I'm doing this video to go through my process of painting the chickadee. I followed very much what was said in the book, what was suggested by the author Dana Fox. So these are not my ideas, it is just me doing the process. I don't know what paints she used. I'm using Daniel Smith, and I've started with this Daniel Smith Lunar Black, which I had squeezed out from the tube and put into my little palette box into half pans. And I'm painting this on the feathers here using an Utrecht size 4 Taklon, golden Taklon brush. I love this brush, not the blush, the brush. It holds its point so nicely, and it snaps back beautifully, and I am planning to treat myself quite soon to perhaps buy a size 2 and a size 8 so that I've got some more of the brush. I really, really like it. So you can see as the Lunar Black settles, it does have a little bit of granulation, and this is either something you like or don't. I personally absolutely love granulation in a watercolor paint. It's part of what I find so exciting about watercolors. When I go back, so I've done the little bit underneath, and now when I go back here to the top, you'll see that I do the join where the page, where the paint is still damp, so that the join blends nicely and we don't have a little line. I'm just speeding this up as I continue doing these feathers in the Lunar Black. And the style of painting here, because there's a picture drawn in pencil, I used a very light drawing of HB pencil, is sort of almost like colouring in. And this is a Fabriano watercolour sketchbook, so it's actual watercolour paper. You can see the texture shining through, and as you probably know with watercolour paper, there's a certain amount of sizing on it which allows it to stay damp just for a little bit. I'm doing another layer on top while the paint is still slightly damp, so that it's not actual layering. I'm just trying to add a bit of depth of colour of this black, as I had watered it down quite considerably. It's a lovely colour because you can use it as a grey as well if you wish to. So I found this such a cute little relaxing birdie to paint and draw. My version is a little bit fatter than the version drawn in the book. It's got a bit of a belly there. So now I'm mixing up some burnt umber, again Daniel Smith, just rinsing the black off my brush. And you'll see that my palette, it's a nice little porcelain palette, has got the remnants of other paints in, and I've started not really cleaning my palette all that much, because I've noticed that people don't, and you get some interesting colors like that. And I'm just mixing up the burnt umber from the half pan here. I must say these paints last forever, perhaps because I don't paint very big pictures. So this is a nice burnt umber, and I'm going to be doing the belly with that. The painting of the twig that the little birdie is sitting on and the leaves got messed up somehow or other, so it's not on there. They're just complete, and I apologize for that. I'm not quite sure what happened. Probably just didn't record. I record on my phone, and I did receive a phone call, and then I pressed record again, but I suspect that something went wrong then. So the colour I used for the twig was Daniel Smith's Tiger's Eye, and then I used a Daniel Smith sap green mixed with some bits and bobs of maybe Daniel Smith Terra Verte. I can't quite remember as I did that. Now it's quite watered down burnt umber, and the black has dried, and I luckily remembered to erase the pencil marks now because I don't want this burnt umber to be very dark on the front of the belly because the light is coming from the left. And so, as you will know, watercolor sort of sets the graphite pencil, and then that's not the style I wanted. I wanted it to just be watercolor. So now I'm going to put on some music. It's music from Epidemic Sound. I have a subscription to them, and I'll just let you watch the rest of this painting. I will put a link to the page through of this book, which I bought on Amazon. I won't put a buying link. I'm sure you can just Google it and find it. And I would suggest you look for the paints, or use whatever paints you have if you want to use this. This wet on wet, I'm just doing a bit of a darker bit here so that it will bleed in and create a feeling of a shadow, and while it's the paint underneath is still wet so that there's not too much of a line. And I hope you enjoy this, and if you've enjoyed the video, I really hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. That would be really great, and if you'd maybe share it with friends on Facebook or something, that would be awesome. Thank you so much. Enjoy the music and enjoy the rest of the video. I'm going to speed it up just slightly because it might get tedious to watch me going slowly. Let me know in the comments if you actually prefer real time and a longer video, or if you like it slightly sped up.
When we were young, running from all things at once, without thinking twice. And I knew it would catch up, and that we would be the ones left behind. The stories I've been told, they never seem to leave my mind. This road that I am on, I gotta stay here for some time. Time is gone and I grew up. I somehow made it through without losing sight. And I still wonder where you are, and if you found a way out from the dark. The stories I've been told, they never seem to leave my mind. And this road that I am on, I gotta stay here for some time.